It feels pretty good that Survivor's made it this far.
Those people are insane.
You're welcome, Survivor community. The survivors have fared better in this game than some of the other game show alums, probably partly due to dumb luck. Like Sarah just lucked out, she's here. But I pretty much drove the entire game all the way to this point. I've known every single thing that was gonna happen. I've sucked a ton of people in and around me and have lost very few of my allies. But when I did lose them, I had a plan B. So the plan initially was to stay Survivor strong, but then we had to get away from that when I started realizing that people with money might become targets. So then I sucked everyone in that had money to protect other people with money and made a pact with everyone with money to not put someone with money in, which benefited me as well as them and made sense. You're welcome, Survivor community. I think the Love Islanders kind of just didn't really understand the social dynamic of this style of game, and you have to start maneuvering right from the get-go. And if you don't, then every move you make later just looks like desperation. So I can't come to you on day 30 and be like, we're good, right? We're pals, because you had 30 days to do that. Why are you doing it now? I can smell that. And so I think the Love Island people probably waited too long to beg for mercy, and then it was too late. And you know what? Just stick to what you're good at, love. I'm good at slitting throats.
It's definitely worrisome because it's, right now, there's 5 guys left. I'm the only Big Brother one, there's 4 survivors. So, but like I said, the numbers, I know the fans are gonna talk about Survivor kind of dominated it, but it really wasn't that. Big Brother just cannibalized each other. I mean, we just went after each other at certain points in this game, and that's what it was. Survivor really had nothing to do with it. But like I said, we just cannibals in this game, so it is what it is. There's some kids here with season. I mean, you got a state swimming champ in Tyson, you got a football player. I mean, there's people I'm going against that are just superb athletes, man. So, and they've done stuff in life. I mean, I'm from the streets, man, from New Jersey. I had a couple scraps, whatever. I played some sports, but never did mountain climbing, swimming, never did none of that stuff. So it's definitely a learning curve for me, but I've survived. I always find a way, and I'm proving that now. I'm this close to the finale, man. So again, no matter what happens, I'm proud of what I did. That's it.
I'm not really worried that there's more Survivor than Big Brother, just because I wasn't even trusting Big Brother to begin with. So if anything, I trust Survivor more than Big Brother coming in here. I feel like I'm really tight with the guys of Survivor. I think they have my back, hopefully, and I feel like they had my back more than anyone from my season on Big Brother. So I've never really seen Survivor, but since they're the majority of this house, it looks like Survivor definitely prepared them. I think the one thing about Big Brother is a lot of it is not competing, it's more strategizing, and I think that's what happened to, Tiffany, Kylan, and Xavier, that they were playing Big Brother when this is not Big Brother. You can have other allies and trust people, and I think they've had the loyalty aspect more than Big Brother had. Honestly, my strategy coming in was to work with the Love Island people, just because they haven't played a game as far as strategizing, and I feel like they'd be easily manipulated. But unfortunately, they were just easily manipulated by everybody, and I think that's why they were targeted, because it was an easy target, because they just believed everything that they heard, and I've been in that boat, so I understand how that feels.
Us Survivor people can stick together, but with Survivor comes the backstabs and the lies. So you kind of gotta be on your toes with that. When you look around the house right now, there's a lot of Survivor people. In fact, we hold the majority. Plus there's a lot of dads too. So from my game point, I'm really excited to have all the Survivor people here except 2, and Tasha and Shan. And all the dads are still holding strong. So dad mods unite, let's get through this challenge and get to TJ's final. The reason I think Survivor players fare better is because there's a lot of strategy in Survivor, and there's a lot of watching people's reactions, at dinner, the side conversations and the whispers. And so you can kind of gauge of where people's game is going, and being able to maneuver through other people's games, protecting your game, is why I think Survivor players have done so well on the challenge so far.
So now that I've seen the compound and where we're living, I feel like Survivor pretty well prepared me for the challenge. There's a lot of complaining about the lack of amenities, so to speak, but it's better than what's on Survivor. Yeah, there's a habitat, not the nicest habitat, not the greatest shower bathroom situation, but there's a toilet, and that's an improvement. It feels pretty good that Survivor's made it this far. I mean, I think mentally we're all pretty tough. We've played and done challenges like we're doing now, literally starving and smelly and with none of the amenities. So I think mentally we're super tough. Physically, we're used to doing things in the water, out the water, so we're adaptable. So I can't say that I'm surprised that Survivor's made it this far. We've seen kind of Big Brother just go at each other this whole game, which has been great to see, and we've just remained loyal for the most part.
Looking at the cast and who's left, it's almost all Survivor, which does not shock me at all. And if I'm being honest, I'm not really worried because very early on in this game, I chose them to run with, and I think that they saw that, and I had moments to prove my loyalty, which I did. So I feel like I'm an honorary Survivor at this point.
I have wanted to work with the Survivor people. I feel like they're really strong competitors. And they have a very diverse game. They're not too strategic. They're also very physical too. So I feel like they're very well-rounded in that sense. And from working with Tyson since day one, I felt very good about the Survivor people here. I honestly have not gone after any of the Big Brother people, but when one of them was on the chopping block, so to say, I did not stick my neck out to try and save them because I've tried to remain kind of ambiguous as to which group I was working with. I think people figured out early on that me and Tyson were working together. That pegs me with Survivor, and then I'm automatically pegged with Big Brother. And so I really was just trying to mesh well with everyone here and not really be seen as a ride or die with a certain group of people.
I mean, I don't know if it's just older and wiser people working well together or Survivor players are just better. I'd say it's probably a good combination of both. There's something to be said about, age and wisdom, but also Survivors, the loyalty aspect in the game of Survivor is so critical. So I think when you come into a game like the challenge, if you can harness that loyalty, even if it's people you don't want to work with, you do know that the formula for success out here is staying loyal.
Of the people left, there's still 6 survivors. I mean, that's insane because we started with 8. We've only lost 2 throughout the entire season. And I think it just goes to show that loyalty actually works and gets you through a game. So I'm not saying we all like each other, but we've all stayed loyal to each other. So that's why we're here.
I mean, it worries me a little bit that a majority of the people left right now are Survivor because we know that those people are insane. They can endure all types of things. I don't know that I would be able to do some of the things that Survivor people have done. So, but I mean, it's not Survivor, it's the challenge. So hopefully, it'll be fine and I can keep up with some Survivor people. And I just know that they're gonna stay really close, whether or not there's more eliminations from here on out. But hopefully I've created some good relationships with them as well so that I can stick around and I'm not voted into any eliminations. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that there would be a few more Love Island people in here, even though we were probably the most unprepared for a game like this and super underestimated. Our strength was that we were super, super tight in here, so it just sucks that we were kind of picked off one by one eventually, but we lasted pretty long, so I'm proud of us, and I gotta represent for the rest of us.
People have been dropping like flies, but me, Desi, and Dom created an alliance at the beginning of the season, and we've been holding strong since. And I think that is the reason why I've made it so far in this game. 6 survivors left. I think we are the best show. We're the most strategic. We're the most physically capable on the challenge, and it is shown. That's why we only have had 2 of us eliminated and 6 of us still headed for the finals. With the majority being Survivor, I feel like I'm protected. I also have people on the Big Brother side who want to protect me. So I think I'm sitting pretty. As long as TJ doesn't throw any crazy twister things in, I think I'll be okay.